All right, who's ready for a new DCEU update? This one is going to be rather short for information because there really hasn't been a lot of information over the last week, but I have two things I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about Ezra Miller. That'll be the second thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about the turmoil with Ezra Miller, kind of what's going on and what we can expect in the future. But the first thing I want to talk about is the Wonder Twins. There is either a TV show or a movie coming onto HBO Max with these two characters from the DC universe. So here's the Deadline article. It says the Wonder Twins HBO Max movie, powers activated with KJ Apa and Isabel May. So KJ is from Riverdale, which I've never seen, and Isabel May. So they're going to play the alien siblings. Now, I remember seeing these Wonder Twins on the Super Friends show when I was a kid. They were kind of a joke, and it is going to be a comedy. So that is coming to HBO Max, which is very interesting. So that's the first story I wanted to talk about, and you can read this article on Deadline, but you can do a quick Google search for that, or you know what? I'll keep a link in the video if you guys want to read the whole article. So the second thing I want to talk about here is Ezra Miller. And Ezra Miller is definitely going through a hard time in his life right now. Nobody knows why. But he has been arrested twice in the last month and just got arrested in Hawaii yesterday. And I want to talk about what this means for the DCU going forward and what could possibly happen. I don't see David Zaslav or the new team putting up with this kind of behavior. And I don't know what Ezra's going through, but you can't behave like this out in public. And what he did yesterday, he actually threw a chair at, I think, a 27 or 37-year-old woman, and I believe it hit her and hit her in the head somewhere and caused some damage. I don't know exactly what happened, but it's not good. And he has definitely been arrested for second-degree assault. Now, I don't really want to get into my channel and talk about the personal lives of actors, but this is a pretty big deal because he is the Flash of the DCEU, and they do have a big movie coming up in 2023 with him. Now, that movie has reportedly cost about $200 million to make. They're not going to scrap it. There is no way they're going to scrap that movie. And you've heard people say, it's going to go straight to HBO Max. I don't think they're going to do that with a $200 million movie, especially not when they're bringing back, what's his name to come back and play Batman for the first time since, 1991 or so. So what does this mean? Well, there are two possible things that could happen here. They may get him the help he needs, and, they've got plenty of time before the Flash movie comes out. They could get him the help that he needs, and he could get back on track. But he's got to stay out of the news. If that doesn't work, they're going to have to recast him somehow. Now, the Flash movie has already been completed, but that doesn't mean they can't go in and make changes to the movie and somehow have him mess things up so bad that there isn't another version of the Flash out there, someone we haven't seen before. People have been saying, they should get Grant Gustin to do it. I'm not a fan of that. He is the TV version of the Flash, and that's fine. Leave it there. If they're going to recast him, I think they should do it with somebody completely different. Now, there's also, so like I said, with this going on, his future as the Flash is very much in jeopardy, and we'll see how this plays out over the next 6 months or so. But, Johnny Depp got let go from Fantastic Beasts, and, we're hearing, I was watching the trial earlier today, and it definitely sounds like Amber Heard was the aggressor here, and there was proof that you saw during the trial. He had part of his finger was severed off and had to be reattached. She put a cigarette out on his face. Like there were all these things that she did to him, and I mean they can't refute it. It actually happened, and so there was a lot of abuse there, and he looks like he was the one getting the brunt of it. And I'm not saying he's not one of the aggressors too. I'm sure he dished out his fair share of abuse. But if they fired him from Fantastic Beasts because of this. I honestly think she may be leaving, and they may have to make some changes to Aquaman as well. And there are reports out there that Hamada actually wanted to replace her anyway because she doesn't have specific chemistry with Jason Momoa. So there's lots of reasons why, I don't know, there's just some turmoil going on with some of these characters right now, the real life versions of these people. I don't know, these actors, they have some issues, and I don't know what's going on with Ezra Miller, but he needs to get the help that he needs to get better so he can get back on track. So we'll see where that leads shortly. There is one quick other thing that I wanted to talk about, and that is Constantine. I saw a report today where they want to reboot Constantine, supposedly with a person of color, a black man. And I think there is an actor attached to it. And as soon as I saw that, I have to roll my eyes. They keep changing all the characters that we know. They're changing them to people of color. And it's not that I feel threatened. You know, I get on social media where people say, oh, you just feel threatened. I don't feel threatened. I just think it's ridiculous that they have to change everything. There are characters that these people could fulfill for people of color. You don't have to change characters that already exist. And they're changing just about everything. In fact, I think the one area where they could have used people of color was the Wonder Twins, but they're getting two very white people to play the Wonder Twins, which, again, Warner Brothers has amazed me for years in not capitalizing on how to use people of color correctly. I mean, Zack Snyder had an Asian guy to play Adam, and he had, TJ Carr to come in and play Green Lantern, and yet they cut these characters out of the theatrical versions of these movies. And I don't know what's going on, but hopefully David Zaslav can get that ship corrected and use people of color the correct way. But to keep race swapping all these characters, it's getting old, and I think people have had enough of it. So we'll see where this leads in the future as well. I would like to see a Constantine reboot, but I say bring Keanu Reeves back. Let him continue to play that character, just like I want to see Ryan Reynolds come back and play Green Lantern. These are characters that are already established. You don't need to redo their history. Just bring these people back to come play back these, to play these characters again, especially if they want to. So, like I said, there's a lot of little moving parts, but as far as the merger goes, there's really not a whole lot of information that came out. Things are pretty quiet right now. So we're going to see what happens shortly, but as more news comes out, I will be continuing to do these weekly updates, so stick to my channel. Please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You will be notified as new videos go up. I do appreciate the support. We'll see you guys on the next video.